I'm going to try something new. Just going to try screen capture, see what I can do with them, if anything. Um, so I first wanted to point out the Google ad. Somebody had mentioned in the text comments that they didn't know what I was talking about. And this is the yellow part I was talking about behind this image, the video image. And if you click, I will open a new window. It links to the Google browser. And you got to ask yourself, well, why would they do that? I mean, they're catching every inadvertent click on the white space in here. I mean, it's a really slimy technique to get people to, buy a free browser, to use their browser. So why would they be this aggressive? I mean, you have to wonder what their motives are to give away their browser. I think the obvious conclusion is because they're going to use that browser to glean a lot of use information out of you. They're going to watch everywhere you go and everything you do and every ad you click on. And it's just, it's very slimy business, and just points out that they are an advertising company. It's all about it's all about marketing and sales. It has nothing to do with about human beings and their best interest. So anyway, I'll play a little of this video, just do a response to one comment that Existential Cat made here that I didn't care for much.
I use rationality to justify emotions. I think emotions are inextricable from rationality because they're what we're after. I mean, happiness is what we're after. We're not after pure rationality. Where is the goal in pure rationality? Rationality is a tool to find consistent happiness.
Yeah, wrong. Look, the rational principle might be to live a good life, a productive life, and that would have a different definition than your own personal happiness. I mean, as a parent, you could say, I might be more happy if I neglect my kids, but there's a responsibility, a rational responsibility, a knowledge that you have an obligation. So even if you don't love your kids, there would be a rational knowledge that you have an obligation to their consciousness, to their welfare, that that need would probably be more important than your own needs for happiness. That's just one example. I mean, what makes a productive life is not necessarily a happy life. You can do the math. I mean, you could say to yourself, yes, I mean, theoretically, any individual, I could spend my life making other people happy, and you're probably going to be more effective at that than making yourself happy, as strange as it is. But yeah, in the real world, you can make a lot of people happy with very little effort, because there's a lot of people who are miserable for really stupid reasons. And their misery can be relieved fairly easily. Why we in the more advanced and civilized countries are, eccentricities have made us kind of gluttonous, kind of demanding, and happiness requires a lot more. And you can just make you can see the distinction in, say, a rich man and a poor man. I mean, what's going to make a homeless man happy is so much simpler than what's going to make somebody with a $5 billion happy. You can see the extravagance for the billionaire. No, they have to fly F-14s under the Golden Gate Bridge or some other nonsense to make themselves happy, because they become very extravagant. But look, the bottom line is there's this equation out there that rationality can direct you to, that's going to dictate that, yeah, in the end your life is going to be measured by your impact. It's not just what you did for yourself. That's only part of the equation. The other part of the equation is, how did you impact the other conscious beings living on this planet? Did you make them happy, or did you cause them harm? And that's going to be part of the equation in defining a good life. So it's not just about being goddamn happy. And our rationality is wasted if we're just going to use it as a scheming tool to satisfy our selfishness. I mean, that's just going back to being an ape. That's just going back to being a bacteria. I mean, the only grace of having an intelligence is having the capacity to understand that you're not the center of the universe anymore. That there is this practical equation, that you exist in a community of sensitive creatures, and that you cannot eke your existence out at their expense. That is not efficient or practical or functional. And so intelligence can't be a scheming tool. It has to be something more than that. It has to define the goals. It cannot allow it cannot be a slave to your selfish desire. It has to define more sophisticated ideals and principles. So enough preaching. So we'll move on to the website. I just wanted to point out a few things here. So I've changed it a little bit. Still doing some improvements. So there's always going to be a video posted on the home page, and I'll post links to the videos that will be permanent here. The ones that are still on the site, and then the ones, there'll be a few of them they'll stay on the website just because they won't meet the terms of service for YouTube, and the others will eventually migrate to YouTube. There's the of course the sidebar page, which is kind of nice. I mean, I'm going to change some of these names on the list and some of the ones that pop up automatically, but it's kind of a nice way just to see who's making different videos, which ones come up on the index. Unfortunately, because of the way YouTube is changing the algorithm of how things are indexed, so it is kind of ironic that some keywords now produce videos that have more to do with other people than the word you use as the keyword. But whatever, that's YouTube policy. The playlist, I've changed that page. Having your own video player it's kind of a nice feature because it lists 10 or 20 of the videos. You can access them pretty quickly. So this is the playlist for the different channels, and so it's kind of a nice way to display them and view them. And so I've also put up the economics playlist. So it's kind of just a nicer format, and you can have all the videos can be accessed pretty easily. So what else? While I'm here, I think I'll just point out some of the menu features here. I'm going to change some of these. These mouse overs don't really work very effectively because you keep hitting them inadvertently. But if you click this little icon, it accesses all the sub menus. And so I'm going to change these icons so they're color coordinated, and then I'll put I'll put the mouse over somewhere over on this side of the web page just to make it less awkward, so the menus aren't changing without intent.